Find out what is happening at the library, from virtual programming to fun new services. Hear recommendations on books, movies, TV shows, and so much more. This is In the Stacks at Mustang Library.
Hi everyone, welcome to fall. Today we're going to be doing a simple craft. It's a book folding Frankenstein. So stay tuned, I'll show you how to do it. So just a quick review, what we start out with is just basically a paperback book. And I keep the cover on while I'm folding the pages because I find it helpful. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to do just basically one fold. And that is folding it in toward the middle. And then I just use a Sharpie to crease it, like that. And that's basically what you're going to do for the entire book. And obviously the more pages you have, the more fuller it's going to look in the end, but I would probably shoot for around 200 pages. If you have any more than that, it gets a little cumbersome to fold the pages. But you're basically going to do that for the whole thing. Okay, so this is what it looks like when we get it all folded. And what we're going to do next is we're actually going to hot glue the middle part of this so it can stand up and it will be completely round. So let's go ahead and do that. Just get a bunch of glue in there. And then we're going to kind of take some paper clips and actually hold it there for a little bit while the glue dries. And just let it set like that for a few moments so it's completely dry, and then we'll come back and we'll show you what to do next. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a line. I put some black felt at the bottom of this, and I'm just going to draw a rough line just to make a circle, but I want it to overlap the top, and this is going to be Frankenstein's hair piece. So we'll just kind of rough cut it. Okay. And then we're just going to flip it over and we're going to make some jagged hair. So I'll give him some hair like that, just to make him look like he got a really bad haircut. Doesn't have to be perfect, because this certainly isn't. Okay, so let's grab our guy over here, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to crazy glue, or actually hot glue, this down and then give him some hair. So I took the paper clips off of the bottom and the top that were holding it together. This is what it looks like from the top. So we're just going to put a fair amount of hot glue on his hair. Okay. And instant toupee. Woohoo! Now we'll go around to the sides and hot glue these down to make it look nice and crisp and clean. Okay, so one thing I decided to do in the interim is actually give it a little bit of a green tint on the side. And this is just one of those big washable ink pads. But if you don't have a big ink pad like this, and this is just a piece of sponge, you could use paint, or there's a lot of those inks in the craft store that you can use. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub this along the spine of the book, the pages, the outside pages, just to give it a little bit of a green tint so you can like definitely tell that it's Frankenstein. And I'm just going to do this to the whole, around the whole book. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And we'll see what it looks like when we get done. Okay, so that's our finished product. You can kind of see that it just has the slightest green tinge all the way around underneath his hair. So we definitely know it's Frankenstein. Now we're going to work on the bolts. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the bolts. And I just have a piece of gray paper. It's pretty, the thicker cardstock paper. And I'm just going to draw like a bolt. That looks like it's sticking out from the head. And it doesn't have to be anything great. That's it. That's my custom bolt. So let's go ahead and cut that out. And then we'll paste it along the sides of the head. Because Frankenstein had bolts coming out of his neck. There we go, custom bolts. Just like that. So let's grab our Frankenstein here. Situate him. Let's see. So we're gonna go about like this, I think. I think that'll look good. Let's see here. Yeah. I just put some hot glue on each end of this. And I'm just gonna kind of slide it in there. There's one side, and we'll do the other side. Doesn't have to be perfect because Frankenstein wasn't perfect. Just hold it there for half a second, just till it gets really good and dry. There's our head. And then we're gonna put some googly eyes on him. Because Frankenstein's gotta see. So here we got these great big googly eyes. So stick one there. Okay, so now he's got to see we're slowly building the monster. There we go. Okay, next we're going to put some stitches. Stay tuned. So there's the final version of our Frankenstein. He turned out really well, I think. His mouth, what I ended up doing is using some leftover felt from the head piece and actually just cut strips and then glued them crisscross so they look like little stitching marks. And then the thing on top of the eye is actually just medical tape. But you could also use like yarn or just regular old tape or even construction paper. So that's our Frankenstein. Welcome back if you're just joining us. This is the final version of our Halloween jack-o'-lantern and our Frankenstein. We did the Frankenstein today, and we did the jack-o'-lantern much the same way. We just used black construction paper for the face. We actually just used a twig from a tree outside for the top, and we glued on some leaves. And I rubbed a orange Sharpie along the outside, along the book folds, to give the jack-o'-lantern a little bit of a tint to make it look more like a pumpkin. But that is our book folding project for the day. And I hope you had fun. And as always, if you do complete this project, we would love for you to post your photos on our Facebook. So, happy Halloween. Be well.
October is Squirrel Awareness Month, and we're back with another citizen science project, available for a limited time only at Mustang Library. For this project, find squirrels, count, make habitat observations, record findings on project webpage, and contribute to scientific research. Sven, the library resident squirrel, reminds you to go pick up the grab-and-go science kits at Mustang Library throughout October.